For thousands of years, horses changed human history. They carried warriors into battle, pulled wagons across continents, connected civilizations, and helped build entire empires. But scientists now believe that all of this may have been possible by something incredibly small. A single genetic mutation hidden deep inside ancient horse DNA. Researchers studying ancient genomes think that they may have discovered the mutations that help turn wild horses into animals humans could actually ride. And honestly, the discovery is fascinating because early horses were nothing like the calm riding horses we know today. Thousands of years ago, horses were wild prey animals. They were nervous, reactive, fast, and extremely difficult to control. Trying to climb onto one would have been dangerous and probably impossible for most people. Yet somehow, humans transformed these animals into trusted partners, capable of carrying riders across huge distances. Scientists are now beginning to understand how that transformation may have happened. Researchers studying ancient horse DNA found evidence of important genetic changes that appeared roughly 5,000 years ago. One of these genes they identified is called ZFPM1. Scientists believe this mutation may have affected horse behavior and stress responses. Horses carrying this variation may have been calmer, less fearful, and more tolerant of humans. That would have been incredibly important because temperament is the foundation of domestication. A horse that constantly panics cannot easily be trained or ridden, but a horse that tolerates human contact becomes much more useful. Ancient people likely began selecting horses that were easier to handle, breeding calmer animals generation after generation. Over time, those traits became more common. But scientists found something even more interesting. They identified another mutation connected to a gene called GSDMC. Researchers think this mutation may have changed the horse's physical structure, especially its back and limbs. These changes could have improved balance, strength, and the ability to comfortably carry riders. That is a massive discovery because domestication is not only about behavior. A horse could be calm and still not physically suited for riding. Scientists now think these mutations may have worked together, creating horses that were both mentally manageable and physically capable of carrying humans. Once humans had access to horses like that, everything changed. Horseback riding completely transformed civilization. Suddenly, people could travel farther and faster than ever before. Trade expanded across continents, communication improved, armies became more mobile and powerful. Entire cultures rose because of their ability to move quickly on horseback. Without horses, human history would likely look completely different. One of the most interesting parts of this research is how quickly these mutations spread. Scientists found that the genetic changes became extremely common with only a few centuries. That suggests ancient humans immediately recognized how valuable these horses were and began breeding them aggressively. For decades, researchers believed horse domestication may have started with the Botai culture in what is now Kazakhstan. Archaeologists found evidence that these people heavily interacted with horses, possibly milking them and maybe even riding them. But newer genetic studies suggest that the Botai horses are not the direct ancestors of most modern domestic horses. Instead, modern horses appear to trace back to populations from the western Eurasian steppes. This means horse domestication may have happened in stages, with different cultures experimenting with horses in different ways, before true riding horses finally emerged. What makes this discovery especially interesting for modern horse people is that breeders today still focus on many of the exact same traits ancient humans valued thousands of years ago. Modern breeding programs prioritize rideability, temperament, athleticism, balance, and soundness. In many ways, horse breeding today is continuing a process that began on the ancient steppes thousands of years ago. The only difference is that now scientists can actually study the genetics behind those traits. This research also changes how we think about the relationship between humans and horses. Domestication was not just humans controlling animals. It became a partnership that reshaped both species. Humans selected horses that could work with people, and horses adapt to survive alongside humans. Together, they change history forever. And that partnership still exists today. Every time someone rides a horse, they are participating in a relationship that began thousands of years ago. Every calm horse standing quietly beside a human may carry genetic traits shaped by ancient breeders who unknowingly changed the future of civilization. Scientists also emphasize that this is probably only part of the story. Horse domestication was likely very complex, involving many genes, environmental factors, and human decisions over thousands of years. But these discoveries provide one of the clearest explanations yet for how wild horses may have become the riding animals we know today. And honestly, it is incredible to think that human civilization may have been transformed by a few tiny changes inside ancient DNA. Without those mutations, humans may never have successfully ridden horses at all. No mounted empires, no cavalry dominance, no rapid trade routes across continents. The world itself might look completely different. So next time you see a horse, think about how extraordinary that relationship really is. Think about the thousands of years of evolution, breeding, and partnership that made riding possible. Because according to modern science, the horse that changed human history may have existed thanks to one tiny mutation that altered the course of civilization forever. Thank you so much for joining us. And remember, I am not AI. If you listen closely, you can hear me breathing.